everyone, and welcome to This Month in Realty. Today, I'm super happy to have back Jamie Harnish. Now, Jamie is an agent with Bosley Real Estate serving the Yonge and Eglinton, Toronto area. Jamie, tell us about the market in Toronto.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate you having me back again. I think Toronto is no different than a lot of places in at least Ontario, Southern Ontario, our province, where we're seeing some pretty significant kind of like downswings in prices and buyer activity, all that kind of stuff. We've had interest rates going up since, I think April was the first big interest rate increase that we had, which I think was before your kind of Fed increased rates. And we've had 3 rate increases since then, and they've been significant. So they've caused a bit of a slowdown. Now, admittedly, the real estate market was starting to slow down on its own, and then interest rates started going up. And so it's really just kind of like snowballed to the point where, buyer activity and prices are down quite a bit. And we've pretty much erased all of the gains that we made since last year, which were significant. When I say gains, I mean, for sellers' equity, because there's 2 sides of the story here. So I'm kind of referring to sellers. They've seen 20+% increases depending on where in the city they've been over the past year, and that's now gone. So we're kind of back to summer of 2021 prices, which is tough news for sellers, but great news for buyers, and it's been a really tough market for buyers for years, right? So it's kind of about time that segment of the market got some relief and some reprieve.
Okay. So are there opportunities in the market that people aren't seeing right now?
There are, on the heels of what I just said about, buyers getting reprieve. The tough thing is that with interest rates going up, even though prices have gone down, affordability is not really getting any better, and in some cases it's worse. And so there aren't really any opportunities, from what I can tell, for first-time buyers, because they're not on the ladder. They don't have anything to sell, and so they're trying to get in at a time where prices have come down, but they haven't come down enough. And so when you look at lower prices but the higher interest rates, the affordability is actually worse than it was in February when we had our highest prices ever, but really low interest rates. But where the opportunities may lie would be for those move-up buyers. So people who are looking to kind of like upgrade the size of their home or the type of home that they have, because the properties that we've seen had the biggest gains over the past years would be our detached properties, and the properties that we're seeing lose the most amount in pricing or in equity over the past 4 or 5 months have been detached homes. And on the other end of the spectrum, in terms of size, our condo market and then our semi-detached market and our townhouse market, the losses or the decline in prices has not been as substantial as the detached property. So if you had a condo and you were looking to upsize or upgrade to basically anything above you, your condo is not worth all that much less price-wise, but what you would want to move into or buy, which would probably be a semi-detached or a detached property, has come down a fair bit in price. So the gap between what your place is worth and what you wanted to buy has actually shrunk. And so that's a great thing, for somebody who is in that position, but you have to already be on the property ladder in order to take advantage. The other opportunities that I would say, and again, it would be very dependent on finances and the financial situation, would be for real estate investors. Prices, again, have rolled back a year. So, many real estate investors say, wow, I wish I would have bought a year ago, or I wish I would have bought. Well, you now can. And meanwhile, the rental market, which I think we're going to talk about next, has taken off like a rocket ship. So,
go ahead. As far as the rental market goes, what I wanted to know about is what's the perspective for the rental market from the tenant perspective and the landlord perspective? Because I know here in Dallas, it's very, tenants are being squeezed so hard because rents are going up. Landlords, unless they refinance recently, their expenses haven't gone up except for in taxes, because their tax valuations have jumped. So what are you seeing in the perspective from each of those dynamics?
So it would be the same here in Toronto. Rental rates for tenants are skyrocketing, and obviously that's a windfall for landlords. And really, their only expenses are kind of going up. I mean, mind you, inflation and kind of everything is going up kind of to a degree, but the biggest expense for a investment property owner would probably be their mortgage. And so unless they've had to refinance within the last 4 or 5 months, then you're right. This is like having tenant turnover at this time is strictly a windfall for them. So it's a great market for landlords. So kind of getting back to what I said before about, we're seeing prices kind of roll back 12 months. Meanwhile, rents have never been higher. So for somebody who's looking to, buy an investment property, provided that the finances work for them, they can buy at 12 months ago prices, but yet new all-time high rents for the tenants that they might be getting into their property. So, but no question, I feel bad for tenants. It's a tough market. Again, it was a really tough market pre-pandemic, and then I would say about 6 months into COVID, rents really started to go down quite a bit, especially in our condo market. And so that reprieve was only 18 months kind of thing, and we're now back to soaring rents again, which is a tough thing for the renters in our city.
Yeah. Okay. So Jamie, how would somebody contact you?
Yeah, they could, wherever they're seeing this, they could make a comment or send you a DM. Also, my cell phone, 416-428-8892. Or you can shoot me an email at jharnish@bosleyrealestate.com. You also just Google me, Google Jamie Harnish, read all my reviews, and then head to my website, contact me. Very, very easy.
I'll put all your links below. Come back next month.
Please, yeah, thank you.
Okay, tune in next month to hear more from Jamie and other real estate experts across Canada and the United States. Take care.
Thank you.